Alright guys, so today we'll be creating our game scene and loading in our game textures and loading up our level. So the first thing we want to do is go to your folder with your graphics, and mine's located in my home folder, and you want to go ahead and copy the coin texture here, copy that and paste it into the graphics folder of your project. Paste. And you also want to copy the tileset file here, copy that and paste that as well. And then you also want to create a new folder here and call it TMX, which is going to be our TMX maps or our levels, and copy that level 1 file that we saved in the last section or lecture. Copy that and paste it inside the TMX folder. Alright, so we're ready to go ahead and start creating our game scene. So first thing we're going to do is we need to create a texture for the coin, and to do that we need to go to our resource manager and create a new texture here called public texture region, and just call it coin texture. And we can also just use another private. Just copy this buildable atlas object there, copy that and paste it, and just call it game texture atlas, so we can use that to load all our game textures. And create a new void method, public void, and call it load game resources, and then create another private void load game graphics, and another private void load game sounds. And then inside the load game resources, we want to call load game graphics, and we also want to call load game sounds. All right. So inside this load game graphics method here, what we can do is we want to go ahead and copy, we want to go ahead and create our new texture atlas. So to do that, we just need to do the same thing we pretty much did here. And in fact, you can just copy this whole entire part here from the load menu graphics. Save us some time typing. We can just copy this whole part and Control C and Control V, paste it, and just change up the actually we can leave the texture file the same like that. And just do this game texture atlas equals that new bitmap texture atlas, and that's it. So now we can go ahead and load our graphics. So to do that, we can just do this coin texture equals, and we could just copy this part here, save with some time typing, copy the bitmap texture atlas texture region factory, and Control V, create from asset, and then pass it the game texture atlas, and do activity dot get assets, and then asset path is just going to be coin dot png, just like that. All right, and so now just copy this part of code here, this slice of code, this try and catch. Copy that and paste it in our load game graphics below it right there, and change this to this game texture atlas, and also change this to this game texture atlas like that. And there we go, we just loaded our coin up. So let's go ahead and X out of the resource manager, and yes, and right click on your project, new class, and call this game scene, and hit finish. And the game scene is going to extend the base scene class, and just go ahead and add unimplemented methods like that. All right. So next thing we want to do is we can go ahead and start loading up our TMX or our map actually. So to do that, you simply just create a new method called private void create level. All right. So let's go ahead and dive into it. The first thing we want to do is go up to the top of our class and create a variable called private and call it tmx tiled map equal, well, just tile map, and we just call it m tile map. Actually, let's call it mtmx tiled map, and you might have to import this. Yep, import. And another one called, actually that's not what we need, we just need that one, but we also can do a private tmx layer because we may need that later on, and it's called tmx layer. And go ahead and import that. Alright, so let's go back to our create level method here, and let's start loading in our level. So the first thing we want to do is we want to do a try, because it's going to be a try and catch, like most loading things that needs to load in this engine is usually tries and catches. So try, and then we're just going to do final tmx loader, call it tmx loader equals new tmx loader, call it activity dot asset manager, get asset manager, or assets, get assets, and activity dot get texture manager, and put a comma and then press enter to make a new line. And we also need the texture options and do the bilinear pre multi something. Click that, and then we pass it the activity dot get vertex buffer. Actually, we just pass it to vbomb. We could just do vbomb like that, and that's it for that. I think we need another parentheses. Yep. Or do we? I don't think we do. So go ahead and import the tmx loader import, and looks like, yeah, we need to erase that. Let's see here, we're missing something. Yeah, okay, cool. So that's it right there. So let's go ahead and do the next line. Should be this tmx, well, mtmx tile map, and we're going to set it equal to, so just do equal tmx loader, and we're going to do load from assets, and we're going to pass it tmx and then level 1 dot tmx, and that should be a slash, just like that. All right, so that's it for this, and we can just go ahead and do a catch like that, and then final, and this should be tmx load exception, and let's call it E, and then we can do debug E and do E. So we need to import this tmx load exception here, so just hover over that and hit tmx load exception and import it. So that's pretty much it for creating our tmx layer. We can actually go ahead and attach the layer now. I'll show you guys how to do that right now, so we can run it and see how our level actually looks. All right, so next, just go outside of this method here, that try and catch, get outside of it. And the first thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and just load up the layers. So to do this, you just do tmx layer, because we only have 2 layers, so just tmx layer, and you could just do equals this mtmx tile map, and just do get tmx layers, and inside the parentheses put 0, which means we want to get the first layer, and this should be, actually no, tmx layers, and then do dot get, and then pass it 0 because we want to get that first layer. And then we can also do, go ahead and attach it, so do attach child and do tmx layer like that. And then we have one more layer we need to get, so we need to do tmx layer equals this dot m tmx tile map dot get tmx layers dot get, and pass it 1. And then we attach that also. So attach child and do tmx layer. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it for the tmx layers. Right now, we're now ready to go ahead and do some awesome stuff and start loading up the game and showing it. So go up to the top of this class and the create scene, and just we need to call that method create level. Just like that. And you can exit out of the game scene now. Yes. And go to your scene manager, and we need to create a new method called public void create game scene. And we need to do resources manager, get instance, resource manager, and do get I keep typing it wrong. Resource manager, get instance, and do load game resources. And then we could do game scene equals new game scene, just like that. Bingo. And my videos wants to open up. Sorry guys, I was doing some video editing here. Come on. Okay. And so next we can do current scene equals game scene. And then we just want to do set scene and set it to the game scene, just like that. Actually, we could do it, keep it simple. We could just do engine and just do resource manager, get instance, engine, and do set scene, and just pass it the game scene. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to our main menu scene here, and when the play button is pressed right here, we need to just go do scene manager, get instance, and we need to do load or create game scene, just like that. And another thing we need to do is go to our tmx folder and click on the level1.tmx file and right click on it and do open with, text editor. And we need to go inside of here, and where you see image source tag right there, we need to add GFX in front of it. So GFX right in front of that tile set PNG, so we can point it directly to this folder right here. All right, so that's it. We can go ahead and run it, and let's see what happens. See if we run successfully. So just click on your project, make sure BlueStacks player is open, and hit run. And check that, click it, and let's see what happens. My BlueStacks player is deciding to mess up on me. Sorry guys, I have to actually restart my BlueStacks player. Let me go ahead and restart this. No. All right, and BlueStacks, and just have to wait for this. I'll pause the video. All right, I think I'm back and ready to go. So let's go ahead and run it again and check it. All right, there's our main menu. Let's hit play. And there it is. There's our level scene, our TMX level loaded right into our game. How cool is that? Isn't that pretty awesome? Yeah, pretty cool. So in the next section, we'll be working on creating our player. Actually, no, we'll be working on creating our objects. So remember how we created like little boxes over top of the ground and the clouds and stuff like that? Well, now we need to parse those objects from the file, our level, and we need to do things with it. So I'll be showing you guys how to do that in the next section. But for now, this is pretty cool. We have our levels already loaded, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. So I'll see you guys in the next lecture.